Hi guys, welcome in. I hope you all are doing all right. My name is Brianna and this is going to be just a quick astrological update. Today we have Mars making a 0-degree conjunction to Uranus in the sign of Gemini. And I wanted to talk about this energy just a little bit because I feel like it's going to be highly significant, especially as we have the moon coming into a 0-degree conjunction with the North Node of Fate in Pisces sometime tomorrow. But today we have this collision of, I want to say, potent, transformative energy that can be harnessed and directed to create radical material change. Okay, I know that sounds big, but when we think about Mars and Uranus in terms of tarot, right? Mars is going to be a representation or represented by the tower. The tower, or Mars strikes the tower, the structure, in order to liberate whatever is trapped inside of this structure, right? So, in most cases, whatever's trapped inside of the tower is going to be an aspect of you, right? This pure aspect of your consciousness. It could be a desire, maybe a desire for freedom, right? So there's been this structure, maybe this cycle, this pattern that maybe potentially has been holding you in place, right? Mars's energy strikes the tower, blows up the tower, so that whatever's inside can be set free. This card, esoterically, is called liberation, right? Liberation. And Uranus is the Fool. Uranus moves the pieces around on the chessboard to make sure that karma and destiny play out. So in this card, we see the Fool preparing to embark on a new journey. Uranus is actually the energy that happens before, right? What led the Fool to this cliff, right? So there's a potential or an opportunity to utilize this energy to release something. And there are some cards here on the table. There's some cards here on the table that tell a story of what wants to be released, right? Going back to this just really quickly. In order for us to align ourselves to get to this place of newness, new beginnings, a brand new path, brand new outlook, lease on life, fresh energy to move forward with, we have to release something. Or something has to be released, right? And I was saying that there's a message here on the table about a process of purification, dissolving something. Let me just show you guys the cards here. So we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups talks about purified emotional energy, right? Clean emotions to move forward with. This is the energy we need to embark on this new journey. This is the frequency required in order for Uranus to identify us and let us know that we're ready for something pure, right? Something new. So we have this Ace of Cups, and then we had the Devil. This devil is representing like karmic contracts, binding agreements. It could be a contract with another person. It could be a pattern, a habit. It could be self-sabotage. It could be an addiction. Whatever it is, it's impure, right? It's impure and it distorts our pure emotional frequency, right? The frequency needed to embark on this new journey. So there's a process of purification required or happening in this energy. Remember that Mars strikes the tower. Mars creates the distraction or the illumination. Maybe we need to become aware of something, right? We need to become aware of whatever this is. So Mars makes this bigger and louder than before. So Mars conjunct Uranus, it could manifest as like big, unpredictable, unexplainable change. It could also manifest as like this big commotion, like this big bang, this big clash in order to get our attention. So you guys, once we become aware of whatever this energy is, and I'm going to pull more cards to see if to see if I can get more information on what this is. I know it's going to be different for I know it's going to be different for each of us, but whatever this is, there's a choice, right? There's a choice, like this big judgment choice that needs to be made. Yesterday, we had the moon in a 0-degree conjunction with Pluto, you guys. The moon is our emotional subconscious, and Pluto rules the underworld, right? Pluto is the lord of the underworld, but when we're incarnated, Pluto is going to be our own internal underworld, behind the scenes realm, right? That's where all of these energies exist, right? These lower vibrational dark attachments. So the moon, our emotional subconscious, was in a 0-degree conjunction with Pluto yesterday, and that conjunction may have brought up these densities, these feelings. I posted on my Twitter account, or my X account as they're calling it now. Sometimes I feel like when I call Twitter, it ages me a little bit because I see like all the younger generations calling it X. So I'm going to try to call it X, but I posted on my X account yesterday that I want the moon to hurry up and get away from Pluto, because whenever the moon is with Pluto, it feels really icky to me. And it's because those densities, those dark energies, these creepy, crawly energies are coming up to the surface so that we can feel them. So that may have been the awareness, right? The awareness, the enlightenment, courtesy of Pluto, so that we can make this choice. Maybe it's like the choice is as simple as like, you know what, I'm done with this. I've had enough of this. It seems like this cycle is just never ending, right? I'm done with it. I've had enough. And then we make the conscious choice to once again turn our backs on whatever this is. So there's a choice to be made. This choice is not only going to ascend us, right? Ascend us in consciousness, but it also helps us evolve from a significant spiritual lesson, a soul lesson, right? Mars making a conjunction to Uranus and Gemini. This conjunction is at 0 degrees, and this conjunction of energy, right? Mars and Uranus, the Tower and the Fool, this big, unpredictable, anything can happen, wild card energy is making a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And I talked a little bit about how yesterday we had the moon in a conjunction with Pluto in Aquarius, but now this Mars and Uranus energy is trining Pluto in Aquarius, as Pluto in Aquarius is making a sextile to Neptune in Aries. I want to talk a little bit about Neptune and Aries, because lower octaves of Neptunian energy can be described as like illusion and confusion and distortion. So when we are in these denser timelines, denser levels of conscious existence, right? Neptune and Aries making a sextile to Pluto and Aquarius could manifest as the illusion of entrapment, right? The illusion of entrapment, the illusion of hell. I wrote down hell. So this energy could be manifesting. This is a challenge that we want to overcome, right? This energy, Pluto in Aquarius, sextile Neptune in Aries, could be manifesting as an illusion of hell, or an experience that feels like hell. You might feel like submerged in densities and darkness, but it's only an illusion, and it requires, what does it require? It requires a choice. Not only that, it requires Mercury. Where's Mercury? So the ruler of the Mars-Uranus conjunction is Mercury, right? Because Mars and Uranus are making a conjunction in the sign of Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the exalted one, right? It's the highest mind. Mercury, we want to shift our focus, right? Shift our focus away from whatever this is. We can acknowledge it, because Mars actually wants us to be aware of whatever this is, right? There's some sort of enlightenment happening in this energy, only so that we can be aware, but we don't want to get sucked into it, like pulled down into it. So if this is manifesting as chaos in your environment, disruption in your work, conflict, anything, an experience that makes you feel trapped, confined, bound, remember that it's all an illusion, right? It's not real. You are sovereign, right? So we want to draw our focus, or pull our focus away from feeling trapped, and connect with Mercury. Mercury is the exalted one, the highest mind, the highest form of divine intelligence. If we can elevate our frequency from lower dimensions into these higher dimensions, then we start to work with the higher octaves of Neptunian energy. And that energy, Neptunian energy in its exalted form, is divine love. It's unconditional love that dissolves illusions, right? Neptune will help us dissolve illusions and material limitations, material binds, contracts, and limitations, if we can tap into that energy, right? I'm going to get more to see how we can best do that, right? How we can move away from feeling like we're trapped. I don't know if you are feeling like you're trapped, but if you are, I'll get more information to see how we can raise the frequency to align with the higher octaves of Neptunian energy. We also have some messages here about moderation and delegation, right? Things being put right. And I think I talked about this a little bit. Let me see. So there's like a balancing, rebalancing that needs to occur. A rebalancing that needs to occur in order for us to align with this purified new beginning, right? Align with the frequency needed to move into this higher dimensional experience, right? Higher dimensional experience. The rebalancing, making adjustments, putting things right, it's going to have a lot to do with our internal emotional energies, releasing. We have the tear here, the teardrop, releasing. There's some sort of energy that's been interfering, maybe even blocking your sensuality, your intimacy. I'm getting like sacral chakra energy, your pleasure, your happiness, your joy. It doesn't have to be sexual, right? It's just your ability to feel heightened senses of emotional pleasure. Something has been interfering with that. It could be this energy, right? Whatever that is. It's like an octopus. It's been meddling in your sacral chakra energy. So there is an opportunity to release, cleanse toxic emotions so that you can make space for healed emotions, right? Healed intimacy. We'll get more on that as well. Let's actually start getting more now because I feel like we're coming to the end of this reading. What else do we have in terms of astrology? I think that's it. Okay, so let's start just clarifying a little bit. Let's see, what do we want to clarify? I think I want to clarify this devil energy. Which deck should I use? Okay. I'm going to use this deck because it generally just gets right to the point. I was talking on X yesterday about how I'm still trying to figure out how to work my hair in its natural state, right? Because I blow it out, and then it's great. But it's like as soon as the air touches it, it starts to puff up. Maybe I need some different products or something. I don't know. Okay, spirits of my angels, my ancestors, and my guides, most qualified and benevolent spirits of my cosmic family, my star family, my soul family, beautiful gods, goddesses, and deities who love, support, and protect me. Please help me clarify the messages out on the table. What do we need to know from this deck? Show me clearly and concisely in a way that I can understand. No illusion, confusion, or delusion. Thank you. We have aggression. Torch. Community. Okay, so I'm going to read the words on this card. Aggression is the first card that came out. The subtitling is hostile behavior. And coming out to clarify the devil, you may think that this devil energy is someone being aggressive towards you, right? Someone being hostile towards you. And that may be true, right? There may be a manifestation of this playing out in your reality. But this card says, negative feelings and attitudes towards a person or experience can hinder you from completing a cycle. Transform your frustration into compassion to liberate yourself from limitations. So, if there is hostility being projected towards you, the hostility won't be able to attach if you transform your inner hostility, right? Negative feelings and emotions towards a person or experience can keep you bound to that experience. So the advice is to cleanse, right? Transform your frustration into compassion to liberate yourself from limitations. So you guys, when we think about what we have here on the table, the Ace of Cups and this tear energy, a process of emotional purification, purifying the emotional frequency so that we can align with a new beginning. And the tear talks about releasing toxic emotions. And then we have this card, right? Transform your frustration, your aggression. Transform your frustration, your aggression into compassion, right? Lighter emotions. Transform dense emotions into lighter emotions, because lighter emotions travel easier. Light bodies move more freely through layers of consciousness, right? So we want to lighten our load. These energies are too heavy, too dense to carry. We can't take them with us. So the advice is to transform these energies into these energies, right? So that we can align ourselves with whatever this is, right? What else do we have here? We have the torch come out. The torch is illuminated awareness. It talks about enlightenment, spiritual mastery, self-confidence, and inner guidance. Enlightenment, spiritual mastery, self-confidence, and inner guidance. We also have the Hierophant. So I'm feeling like the Hierophant talks about spiritual instruction, right? Rules, orders, orders from the divine, regulating processes and systems, putting things right, doing things the right way, morality. So, and the Hierophant came out before the Fool. So it's like this is a gateway that we have to pass through, this gateway of morality and rightness, righteousness, doing things the right way. So there's a key, there's a frequency key required to move through this gateway, right? We have to do things the right way. We have to have the right frequency in order to align with this new beginning. I'm getting a weird image right now. I'm getting an image of like bombs exploding. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Bombs exploding around you. Pew, pew, pew. Hostility, aggression, devil energy. This reality feels like hell. Pew, 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 pew. But there's this person, you, me, walking through a minefield, very calm, very confident, self-assured, walking confidently through all of this chaos. There's so much chaos, and aligning ourselves with this new beginning. So there may be a lot of chaos, explosions. We do have Mars making a conjunction to Uranus, so there may be a lot of explosive energy around you. The key to navigating these explosions is going to be purified emotional energy. Dense emotional energies will, like, these energies are sticky, right? And they reach for dense emotional energies, mental conflict, mental confusion, insecurity, worry, stress. They reach for those energies within our aura to attach and pull us back. So we have to be pure, right? Pure, clean, so that we can move through this chaos without getting pulled back. We also have the octopus here. Like, these energies are invasive. They reach, they grab, they overstep their boundaries. So we have to be pure, right? In this righteous, moral energy. We also have the elk. The elk talks about a strong sense of self, a strong sense of stability, being strong and grounded, moving with confidence, right? What else do we have here? I think that's it, you guys. We have soul family, community, soul family at the bottom of the deck, and water, skillful navigation. So we're navigating through this minefield of chaos and hellish experiences, and it may be to connect with soul family, a person with whom we can express ourselves intimately with. We're navigating, skillful navigation. It says water represents the ability to maneuver around obstacles and overcome challenges by developing fluidity and flexibility in both the mind and the body, adaptability, emotional intelligence, grace, and intuition. And then we have community, soul family. Community represents the kindred spirits with whom we share a deep and unique bond based on mutual passions, interests, and perspectives. So this is someone that we resonate with deeply, a sense of belonging and fellowship. So I feel like I want to get more on this. Do I want to get more on that? Yeah. I feel like this is what we're moving into, this soul family, a person, a group with whom we share these deep emotional bonds, right? And in order to align with these pure bonds, right? Pure bonds, we have to release dense emotions. Can I have more about this community, soul family? I'm not sure if this is the right deck. Let's see. Community, soul family. Okay. We have all the dense energies coming out. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck we have the ring, which talks about union, marriage, commitment. Union, marriage, commitment. It could be for better or for worse, right? The cards that we have coming out here on the table are, the first one is the whip, right? More of that aggression, hostile behavior, harshness, abusive, angry individuals. This could be internal or external conflict. It could be manifesting as more of that aggression, right? Could be internal or external. The next card that we have out are the fish. The fish talk about moving towards abundance, right? Moving away from one thing into another thing. And then we had sorrow. Sorrow is deep distress, sadness, and worry. Is that this? Deep distress, sadness, and worry? Is this the density? Is this the density that we want to release? Maybe some, I did mention that that aggressive energy could be manifesting as like someone outside of you being hostile towards you, right? That's the attachment, right? If they can trigger these feelings of sorrow within you, then that's the point of attachment, you guys. So we want to make sure that we're paying attention to what we feel, especially as the moon is moving to conjunct the North Node of Fate in Pisces tomorrow, right? Our moon, our emotional subconscious, is going to be carrying data into the North Node. This data is going to be transmitted to the fates, right? And the fates are going to be weaving a destiny or weaving a future based on the frequencies stored within our moon. So I feel like that's why it's so important to alchemize, release, become aware of what you're feeling. I did see bird here, elevated perspective. You guys can't see that, right? It says the bird represents someone with the insight and wisdom to see beyond surface level appearances and grasp the complete nature of any given situation. So we have to ascend our consciousness. Just keep in mind that everything going on below you, around you, is an illusion. We're in a simulation, right? And the simulation shifts when our internal frequencies shift, right? Our mind, our heart, our thoughts, our emotions. When those energies shift, because it's like our inner energies are projecting our outward reality. So we have to shift these emotions and dissolve the attachments, you guys. The last card out was court, judgment, right? And we also have judgment here. There's a choice to be made. Maybe this choice isn't one that's spoken verbally. It's one that is picked up by the universe in terms of frequency, right? There's a choice to be made, a decision that's going to, I want to say, deliver justice, and justice is solely determined by you. Remember that Uranus moves the pieces around on the chessboard so that justice and karma can play out, whatever that karma looks like for you, right? So, you guys, my hair is really puffy now. You guys, in conclusion, what the heck? Oh my goodness. Okay, in conclusion, there are new contracts with the ring here, right? New contracts behind ring. We have unexpected money, which just like it tells us that this ring, this new contract, this coming together has the potential to be an improvement, right? An evolution, something that is fulfilling, right? It's like a turnaround, an upturn, transcending whatever this is. Transcendence, this promise, this commitment, whatever's coming in for you, your justice has the potential to be an improvement, right? Evolution of consciousness, access to higher dimensional experiences. But we have to move through this energy, right? We have to pass through the Hierophant, which talks about rules, codes, spiritual laws, and regulations. This is the way it has to be, right? We have to do things upright by the book. We have to pass through this frequency. This is the key. Remember, this is the key, purified emotions, to access this higher dimensional experience. Whatever's on the other side has the potential to feel like unexpected money, unexpected luck, unexpected fortune, right? But be mindful, oh goodness, be mindful of the fox and the thief. The fox and the thief. This is deceit, trickery, someone who operates service to self, someone who operates to serve themselves. It could also be your own internal energies playing tricks on you, right? Your own feelings of sorrow robbing you of your unexpected fortune and your promise, okay? So, you guys, that's all I have for this one. I do hope that this message is supportive on your pathway. If so, please be sure to give this video a like, leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji, you guys. Your interaction with these videos lets YouTube know that they are helpful and it supports the channel. Okay? I'll see you guys on the next one.